With the ESI 45 SIP phone, you can access a menu of options directly from the phone. On the 45, the button is the first one right underneath the display called Menu, and you press that and you have several choices. You have contacts, call history, phone settings, network settings, SIP accounts, because you may have more than one, and then system. And as you keep pressing the down arrow, it keeps scrolling. And don't forget, you can always scroll up on most lists. If what you need to access is at the bottom of the list, you can go the opposite way. So let's go down, let's go back to contacts. So we have a separate video for that, but this gets you access to the contacts you programmed into this phone. Call history gives you a list of calls that you missed, answered, or dialed from this phone. Phone settings, so let's select that. This is where you select to program your 16 feature keys here. You can choose device settings, where you can set auto answer. Auto answer is where when a call comes in from an extension, it auto answers where it comes to the speakerphone. Some people like that, some people don't. By default, it's turned off, but if you select here, you just scroll up and down to the selection that you want. So if I wanted to enable it, I'd scroll down to enable, press select, and then once I keep exiting out of the menu, it'll ask me to save those changes, and then it'll save. Now, I personally don't like that option, so I'm going to change it back to disable and then press exit. You have your backlight timer, so the display has a backlight, and you can select to have it turn off the backlight after 30 seconds, 60 seconds, or always keep it on. I always like having it on, so I'm going to select that. Then there's military time. By default, we don't use military time, but you can again select that and enable or disable it. If I go down to ringtone, you can choose a different ringtone. If there was one loaded for you, you'd want to talk to your site admin about that, because there are good ways and easy ways to get a ringtone on your phone, and that we'll discuss in a completely different video. There's missed call message. That's where you'll get a notification that you had a missed call. Call waiting tone, and call waiting tone, just like your home phone. You'll be on a phone call and another call will come in and you'll hear a tone in your ear that lets you know that there is another call coming through. That can be helpful if you're not actually looking at your display to see that there's another phone number appearing in your display to indicate another call's coming through. And then comfort noise. Comfort noise is kind of what it sounds like. It's a little bit of a whitish noise that makes it sound like somebody's on the other end when it's completely silent. Some people don't like the phone when it's completely silent, some do. It just depends. So if you want a little comfort noise purposely put in your phone, then you can enable that. And then we're back to the top. So basically you just go through that menu up and down, and every time your cursor lands on a particular topic, you select it and then you can enable or disable it. So as we keep exiting, it'll say, do you want to save your changes? And I do, and so I press select. But let's say, no, I don't. So you would scroll over to no, because you'll see the asterisk there, and I select. And so it didn't change anything that I just set. All right, so let us go down. That was phone settings. So network settings. This is going to ask for a password that you don't have, that most users don't have. It's primarily meant for the ESI technician or maybe your partner technician that needs to access your phone to get information for troubleshooting purposes. So let's exit out of that. SIP settings, again, needs a password. That's mainly for technicians. SIP accounts, same thing, you need a password for that, and the reason is even if you had more than one account, you don't want to just arbitrarily switch through different accounts because you may not know what you're doing and accidentally mess up your call routing. So let's go to system. Now system, this shows the version you're on. So if you ever were entering your own trouble ticket, or maybe trying to communicate something to a technician, or you got a notification that, hey, there's a new version out with new features or bug fixes, you can always go here to verify what version you're on to know if you're on the latest or greatest. So we'll exit. There's a serial number, which it's printed here. It's also printed on the back of your phone. Network. This will tell you if you're in DHCP mode, what the LAN address is. Again, most of this you won't need on a daily basis. You'll usually need it if there's some troubleshooting needed by a technician, or if your ESI partner needs to set something up specific on your phone. Utilities. So let me go back to where I was so you didn't get lost. So we know the version number, serial, network, utilities. This is if you need to do a factory reset or just reboot your phone. Factory reset means that it pretty much wipes out everything in your phone. Reboot means that it just power cycles the phone. If you're ever asked to power cycle, you can select this, or in the back of the phone, there's an Ethernet cord plugged in. You can just unplug that cord and plug it back in, and that reboots your phone. So let's get out of that. And then we're back to the top of our list. So we'll go back again, and then we're back to the top of the main menu list, which is contacts. And so that again is all under the menu that you have on your phone. So quick and easy to change some pretty common things.